Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we kick off a week of female-led movies that take place in and around that are set in the school. And we're going to start with the mid-90s classic Clueless, starring Alicia Silverstone, Stacey Dash, Paul Rudd, Brittany Murphy, Donald Faison, Elisa Donovan, Breckin Meyer, and Wallace Shawn. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And as I said at the start of the show, we're kicking off a week of female-led movies that are set in and around schools. We've got an 80s classic, we've got a 90s classic, and we've got a turn of the century classic. Today we're going to take a look at the mid-90s classic, Clueless. And as our movie opens, Cher Horowitz lives in a Beverly Hills mansion along with her wealthy father, Mel, who is a gruff litigator. We learn that Cher's mother died during a botched liposuction procedure that occurred when Cher was just a baby. Cher is attractive, stylish, good-natured, and popular, and she attends Bronson Alcott High School alongside her best friend, Dionne Davenport, who is also wealthy and beautiful. And Cher jokes that both her and Dionne are named after great singers of the past who now do infomercials, being, of course, Cher and Dionne Warwick. Dionne has a long-term relationship with popular boy student Murray Duvall, although Cher believes that this is a pointless endeavor for Dionne, who ought to be dating more mature guys. Josh is Cher's socially conscious ex-brother, and he visits her and her father during a break from college. They spar continually but playfully as she mocks his idealism while he teases her for being selfish, vain, and superficial, saying that the only direction that she has in her life is towards the mall. After receiving a poor grade in class, she decides to play matchmaker for two of her hardest grading teachers at her school, Mr. Hall and Miss Geist. Cher orchestrates a romance between them so they will begin to relax their grading standards and allow her to renegotiate the bad grade on her report card. After seeing their newfound happiness, Cher begins to realize that she enjoys doing good deeds. She then decides to give back to the community by adopting a tragically unhip new girl at school named Ty Frazier. Cher and Dionne go as far as to give Ty a makeover, which provides her with confidence as well as a sense of style. Cher attempts to extinguish the attraction between Ty and Travis Birkenstock, an amiable but clumsy slacker, and instead steers her towards Elton, a handsome and popular student. However, Elton has zero interest in Ty and instead tries to make out with Cher in his car, although Cher rebuffs him. A fashion-conscious new student named Christian Stovitz attracts Cher's attention and becomes her target boyfriend. When she goes to a party with him, Josh tends to get jealous and follows her to the party just to take care of her. One evening, when Christian comes over to watch some movies at her home, she tries to seduce him, but he deflects her advances. Murray then subsequently tells Cher and Dionne that Christian is gay, and despite the failure of her romance overtures, Cher remains friends with him, primarily due to her admiration of his good taste in art as well as fashion. Cher's privileged life begins to take a negative turn when Ty's newfound popularity begins to strain their relationship, and her frustration only escalates after she fails her driving test and cannot change the result. When Cher returns home in a depressed mood, Ty confesses her feelings for Josh and asks her for help in pursuing him. But Cher tells Ty that she is not right for Josh, leading to a quarrel between the two of them, which results in Ty calling her a virgin who can't drive. Feeling totally clueless, Cher begins to reflect on her priorities and her repeated failures in order to understand and appreciate the people within her life. After thinking about why she is bothered so much by Ty's romantic interest in Josh, it finally causes Cher to realize that she is actually in love with him. She begins to then make awkward but sincere efforts to live a more purposeful life, including captaining the school's Pismo Beach disaster relief effort. Cher and Josh eventually follow through on their feelings for one another, which culminates in a very tender and sweet kiss. Ultimately, her friendships with Ty and Dion are solidified. Ty and Travis begin dating, and Mr. Hall and Miss Geist even get married. During the wedding reception, Cher catches the wedding bouquet, helping Josh to win a $200 bet. Cher and Josh then kiss and embrace as our movie comes to its end. Clueless was a fun one to go back and revisit. I saw it in theaters many, many years ago, and I've seen it a few times since then, but it's not one that I watch with any kind of religiousness or repeated viewings like some of the movies that I've been covering this month or that I've covered in the past. But it's definitely one that gets dusted off every maybe 2 to 3 years and revisited just because it is a timeless classic. It is a time capsule. It's one of those movies where, like, if you want to define 90s life to people, pop in Clueless. Between the way Cher and Dion and Ty and Murray act, between the soundtrack, I mean, once again, here we are on a Monday discussing a movie with a Coolio song in the soundtrack. Last week, Dangerous Minds was Gangsta's Paradise. This week, Clueless, it was Rollin' With My Homies. Both movies that came out right around the same time, as a matter of fact, and featured Coolio songs heavily within their movie. Rollin' With My Homies was even the song for Ty and Elton for the brief time that Ty thought she was falling in love with him. But I mean, you've got Alicia Silverstone, right? She was the it girl at the time. Casting director saw her in the Aerosmith trilogy of videos, Crying, Crazy, and Amazing, and she got the role in this. You got Paul Rudd, who was making his name at the time. You got Donald Faison, who would go on to be in Can't Hardly Wait and Josie and the Pussycats. You know, we discussed Josie and the Pussycats. We'll link that video up here. Alicia Silverstone would go on to be in, granted, not the greatest movie of all time, but she'd pick up the role of Batgirl in Batman and Robin off of her success and fame from this. And we'll go ahead and link Batman and Robin up here as well, as we've talked about that in the past. Paul Rudd obviously went on to do bigger and better things. I mean, he's now Ant-Man in the MCU. We've talked about both Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. We'll link both of those movies up here. Give it a little bit of time for both of them to pop up. Wallace Shawn, The Princess Bride. You know, inconceivable. I do not believe that means what you think it means. Iconic actor. It was great to see him pop up as the school teacher that Cher sets up to try to get her grade relaxed. We'll go ahead and also link The Princess Bride up here. Check out our review of that on the channel. But I mean, the fashion, the lingo and slang, the music, everything about Clueless is just iconic. You can't knock it. I mean, people will say what they want to say about the character of Cher, Alicia Silverstone's portrayal of her. But what you got to remember is that Cher was never the dumb blonde, if you will. She was always very smart, very educated. She was just a little ditzy when it came to street smarts. You know, she was a very bright young woman. And a lot of people, they see the character of Cher, and for whatever reason, they think ditzy blonde. But Cher is not that in the least. Quite the educated young woman. I don't understand why some people look back at this movie and hate on it the way that they do. I think they really need to go reevaluate this film, rewatch it, maybe with a fresh pair of eyes. When it comes to my rating for Clueless, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I love, love, love this movie. I do wish maybe that I watched it a little bit more regularly than some of the other movies that I've got in my rotations. But honestly, I almost feel like if I watched this movie too much, I would get bored with it and I'd start to hate it. The funny thing is that when I watched this in theaters, I didn't care for it that much. I thought it was okay. It's the type of movie that repeated viewings, it's really grown on me over the years. Maybe because of seeing how the cast has progressed and grown since then. Again, Donald Faison, Paul Rudd, Brittany Murphy. Oh my God. Love some Brittany Murphy. So cool to watch how she progressed and changed from this to movies like 8 Mile and Little Black Book and so on and so forth. So, 4 stars for me when it comes to Clueless. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But let's engage in that conversation. Let's have that discussion. I'm always open to debate and converse with you guys in the comment box. So let's do that. Chat it up with me about Clueless. And make sure you guys tune in at the top of the hour, both right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as over on the Jeff Meacham Network, as Jeff and I discuss the top 10 movies set in school. This was supposed to be a live stream last week. However, due to circumstances beyond our control, it is now a taped episode that'll air at the top of the hour on both the Casa D18 Studios channel and the Jeff Meacham Network. Like I said, top 10 movies set in school. And the school doesn't have to be the prominent background, but in a lot of cases, it's a very focal point, at least of the storytelling. And then make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, as we reopen the doors once again this week for Stat Boys Sports Bar, featuring Dory Lou. The food is hot, the beer is cold, the bar stools are warm. So pull up a seat and engage in some conversation with Stat Boy Dory Lou and the rest of his panelists right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. You're not going to miss out on any of that content, both right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as over on the Jeff Meacham Network. Top 10 movies set in school, Stat Boys Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou. Make sure you tune in, check all that out. To all my loyal fans and viewers out there, thank you so much for tuning in and joining me here today. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on. That way you're alerted anytime a new video or live stream goes up right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Make sure you share this video with your family, friends, loved ones, Alicia Silverstone fans, Donald Faison fans, Brittany Murphy fans, Stacey Dash fans, Paul Rudd fans, Wallace Shawn fans, fans of 90s movies like Clueless. Anybody that you can think of that would enjoy this content, share this video with them. Only way we're going to boost up my visibility in the YouTube algorithms so I can eventually get monetized by the end of the year, make some money on this endeavor. Thank you once again to everyone who tuned in and joined me here today. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.